Okay, so I did put a little Sweet Baby Ray's on it. It's very good. Sis, come along with me as I make tempeh for the very first time. I'm so excited. I love tempeh. If you don't know what it is just fermented soybeans. It is rich in prebiotics and probiotics. It is a complete protein. In fact, 3.5 ounces provides 20 grams of protein. It's low in fat, and it's just one of the healthiest forms of plant-based protein there is. It's great if you want to do keto. It's just amazing. And I did not know it was this easy to make it. And I totally would not be going to the store and buying unless I'm in a rush or something like that. But all you need is some organic soybeans and vinegar. And then you need the starter, of course, the starter. And the starter is the actual colony of bacteria and yeast that is used to ferment the soybeans. So the very first thing you need to do is get 2 cups of organic soybeans and soak them overnight, which is what I did. I didn't show that part because I wasn't planning on making a video, but I just had to show you. I had to show you how easy this is. So after you soak the beans, you're going to want to get the little hull off, and then you want to split the beans. And you can do that by rubbing the beans in your hand, as you can see I'm doing. And then you want to get the hulls out of the water. And I'm just going to show you how I figured out the best way to do that. This is probably the most time consuming part. Could be a little bit irritating, but it is well worth it, sis. Okay, after a little bit of trial and error, I figured out the best way to remove the skins for me. What I did was agitated the water, make sure I fill, enough water in there. Once I agitated it, most of the skins did come to the surface, and then I immediately poured them off. And I repeated that process until most of the skins were off. Not 100%, but then I could go to the next step, which was to actually cook the beans. Okay, so I am done. I'm trying to avoid if I see one, because they all 100% don't have to be, split and hulled, but just, majority of them. So I boiled them for about 45 minutes to an hour. I didn't really show taking them out, but I took them out and put them on this aluminum foil. I should have put them on top of the tea towel because you want to dry them off. So I did take the tea towel and kind of dry them off, pat them dry here. And then I'm going to transfer them into my bowl so I can mix in my vinegar and my starter. Okay, once your beans are completely cool, you don't want to use hot beans, and because that's going to kill your starter. Of course, this is a live bacteria that we're using, and you've dried them off. They don't have to be 100% dry. Some people use a cool blow dryer, but all of that is not necessary. You just pat them dry a little bit with either paper towel or a tea towel, and then once they're dry, you put everything in the bowl. And then I'm going to show you the mistake that I made, sis, which caused me to have to make this twice. Now, you're going to use vinegar, right? And I saw somebody using rice wine vinegar, and then they said it added more flavor. And I had this rice vinegar that I never used. I had it for forever, and I decided to use it, but I didn't read the back of it. It's not just vinegar. It has some other additives in it, and it didn't work. I ended up having to do it again. So I'll say to you, make sure you're using 100% vinegar. So if you can use regular distilled vinegar, which is what I ended up doing, or you can use apple cider vinegar. Just make sure whatever type of vinegar, it's just vinegar. So you're going to add your vinegar, and then you're going to mix that thoroughly. And then you're going to, that's going to be 2 tablespoons of the vinegar. I use distilled vinegar. And then 1 packet of the starter. And I'll put a link in the bottom in the description where I got my particular starter from. But once you make the tempeh for the first time, you can save some of the tempeh and you can use that as starter. So you only have to buy a starter once if you want to. All right, so you just make sure you mix it up thoroughly so that every bean gets coated with the starter and the vinegar. Okay, once you have it all stirred up, then you can put it in whatever container you want to use. I am using a gallon-sized plastic bag because you want some aeration. So I'm going to poke holes in this. So I'm going to flatten it out, and then just poke some holes in it with a toothpick on both sides. When you go to the fermenting, you want to have a warm temperature. The ideal temperature is between 85 and 90 degrees. I'm going to use my dehydrator and set it at the lowest temp. You can put it in the oven with the light on. Don't turn the oven on. Or just set it in the warmest place, in your house. After 24 hours, it's going to generate its own heat. So you just kind of want to monitor that. If it gets a little bit of black looking mold on it, that's okay. It just means that it got a little bit too much oxygen, but it's still edible. So after I poked the holes in the bag on both sides, I wanted the tempeh to be thicker, of course. So I kind of used half of the bag and just folded it over itself. And I'm using my dehydrator. Okay, so there's my tempeh. It's all covered up now. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. One whole block of tempeh. Okay, I don't know if I'm being anal. Maybe I put it in for a little bit. I want that little part to be covered. So there is my I was letting it go because I wanted those little beans to get covered, but I think I'm gonna stop it right here. Everything is mostly covered. Let's see what it smells like, eh? You wanna smell it? Oh, it smells like tempeh, but really, really fresh. So to stop the activation of it, I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. We'll have a look when I'm ready to cut it up and do something with it. Well, it's been a while. I just took this out the refrigerator. It looks like it's kind of brown or whatever. It's going to continue to ferment, so we're going to cook this. Tempeh. This is what it's looking like. So let's look at it up close. So, oh, look at that. I'm just gonna cut it up into strips and fry it because I just want to get the raw actual taste of it. Look at that. And see, how it does. Okay, you'll taste it after I taste it. So we're going to taste a very thin one, and then we're going to taste, well, they're all kind of thin, but we're going to taste like a bigger one, right? So let's taste the thin one because it seems crispy. You see that boca action going on? That's what's up. It tastes like tempeh, but fresher and nuttier. It's very good. That's good. Now let's taste this one. It's a little bigger. It's not as crisp. Alright. It's softer. Man, it's good. But it's You ready?
You're gonna taste it. Let's see you taste it.
I tasted it. You gonna taste it? So that's the softer one, the bigger one. And then I only put garlic powder and salt and pepper because I didn't have any. Onion powder.
Store-bought stuff. Yep.
Don't it?
No.
It tastes fresh, don't it?
Yeah.
Has a nuttiness.
Yeah. Almost tastes like
What does it taste like to you? Like for somebody who don't really eat tempeh?
bacon.
So
what you got on there, the seasoning, it tastes like it.
And I was gonna make some tempeh bacon. So are you interested in it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did put a little Sweet Baby Ray's on it. It's very good. So this is homemade tempeh. This is homegrown squash from this summer. And this is homemade sauerkraut. So I got 2 fermented foods on my plate. And everything is homemade and homegrown.